He was not expecting that, but all right. Sorry for that little short, but hello there, people on the internet. It's me, Mr. Victor, and I have finally finished my season 2 scrapbook. So we're gonna start from beginning to the end. That way there won't be any more announcements or other videos. Next week I'll probably give an announcement of what's gonna be next for the channel. But for right now, just gonna enjoy a nice little bedtime story. Right. Cue music. Once upon a time, in Hyrenock, far, far away, there was a little alchemist, and he wasn't feeling too bad. Summer of 20X's day one. I've lost friends and gained powerful enemies. I've learned many things, but there is still so much I don't know. What's next? What do I do now? Will I ever become powerful? Will I ever become wise? All I know now is that I have to keep pushing forward. As Vincent soared in the sky in a hot air balloon, he travels to the far up in the high cloud owls mountains to the tinkerer's shop, where he starts to learn more than just alchemy, but artifice as well. This week was not necessarily a difficult one, but it definitely felt different, even though people were just as accident prone above the clouds as they were below. Even though gnomes, dwarves, and halflings mostly ran the shop, it did have a human or two, though the living quarters were of normal size. My first day I met a familiar face, but it wasn't the good kind of familiar face. No, it was the asshat captain of the mayor's security guard. He had Tanner's hands. Luckily, one of the aisles had a koi fish pond with moon lotuses. I crushed it up and made a salve with the skull-cap mushroom I had left in my bag of holding. After that, I found Selwyn Petra passed out on the ground. She's the shop's lightning lobster breeder, who didn't have the right gloves. I figured she had the charged element. Luckily, I found a lobster shell on the back porch. The driftwood that I needed, however, was a different story. Not all of Cloud Isles is a pretty place. As a matter of fact, some of the owls became host to a troublesome thundercloud. As I was going east, I saw one, and it held what looked like a transparent airship. Thunder danced. Thunder boomed, roared, and flickered. As the ship dropped down, me and my familiar got caught in the turbulence and dropped down to Meltwater Lock. I don't remember Usually you hear stories about pirates above a ghostly vessel, but no. The 13 gentlemen may look ghostly, but they wouldn't even hurt a fly. At least according to Lord McLean of the House of the 13 McLean. The crew was cursed by a pirate witch. I apologized to Lord McLean. By the way, Lord is his actual name. Because I needed to help Selwyn, I told him that I needed to gather some driftwood. Lord McLean said I could gather driftwood from his ship, but only if I listened to his story, because apparently that's how his crew stays alive. Luckily, I remembered how to use my wand to extract memories from driftwood. Why tell me when you can show me? The memories of the 13 McLeans were massive. I could only get literally 13, one from each, with the time that I had left. Hopefully I'll see them again, and then I can write a whole nother story of the beauty, the drama, and the gentlemanly trials and tribulations of the 13 McLean. Mm, getting really good now. After last week's fiasco, I decided to take a break and work on my tinkering skills. Papilio started yowling like crazy today and would not stop. Since Papilio is still a baby, I could not use familiar telepathy to communicate with them, but luckily he was able to lead me to a signal sound. I have never seen such a wondrous contraption in my life. It had these little metal spikes on it that kept wriggling and moving, with knobs at the base. It also had a yellow glow with different glittering sparks of etheros coming from it. It also kept making sounds that changed in pitches and patterns if you twisted the knobs. I asked Mr. Coco, a half-dwarf artificer, about it. Even though Mr. Coco was a pudgy man, he was a little on the muscular side for a scientist. I asked him where did he get such dark and strong muscle. Despite his dark chocolate complexion, he blushed and told me I had to stop flirting with him or he'll teach me a few other things. To be honest, I hope he does. But enough about it. Let me get back to business. I learned that the device in question was a healing router, or signal salve as most people call it, that anyone that knows healing magic can enchant the device with their mana, and it will route the magic at a frequency that will heal people within hearing distance. If you have enough tech know-how and healing aptitude, you can change the frequency to heal any tag element. Of course, it's only one tag per device. However, I was determined to build one, and with Mr. Coco's help, I did. Later that week, it wasn't that great. Thank Gaia for that healing router because the last 2 weeks were a doozy. There's a little baby witch that came in the shop with her mother. And this little baby witch got upset with me because the shop didn't have any new batteries Even though I assured her that we could make the battery in an hour, she was not having it. She wanted mommy to walk now. She then bit me, and before I could stop myself, I popped her hand. Then she stabbed me with her wand, and I ended up with wand skill. But I didn't know I had it till I shook my finger at the girl, and a magic missile came out. Not only did the magic missile came out, other catastrophic circumstances became rampant. I was slinging magic missile after magic missile, fireball after fireball. Luckily, it didn't hit the little girl, but it hit a box of chemicals. Chemicals mixed together and created fumes that one dwarf inhaled and started spitting out random rhyming words. The chemicals also created a big splash, and some of the spills got inside one of the gnome's mouth, and he started to try to eat all of the metal he could see. And then a halfling slipped on the chemicals and dropped a big cogwheel that ran over the little girl's foot and flattened it. Since I had the healing router set for pain, she didn't scream, but her bones were still broken. To make matters even worse, the mother was a proctor from the AOA Alumni Association. She docked me for 2 reputation points. I apologized profusely and told her the treatment for her and her daughter will be free of charge. She told me if it wasn't for my customer service, it would have been 7. But anyway, here's how I patched them up this week. First, I asked Mr. Coco to adjust the knobs of the signal salve that we found to cure any adverse magical effects. After that, I stopped casting fireballs and magic missiles. Luckily, we found the right frequency. To fix the object tag, I brought some diamond oil from Guru, the only responsible alchemist in the Tinkerer's workshop, and rubbed it on the wound and got the wood splinter out with tweezers. I grabbed the proctor's battery for her prosthetics and saw that it just needed new capacitor jelly. Selwyn, the electric lobster keeper, usually has the fungi growing in her garden to make it, because she feeds it to the lobsters. I went to see if the elevator was working, and to my surprise, the broken elevator shaft was fixed, but you had to manually turn a spinning wheel for it to go up and down. Until this day, they never just put in stairs. Why they never just put in stairs, I will never know. But anyway, I got the weird mushrooms from Selwyn and boiled them until they turned into jelly. Then I replaced the jelly in the dead battery, and it worked again, and the proctor could walk. Fixing the broken bone and the other 2 elements took a little more effort. Even though I have been studying elemental spells, I decided to take out my magic ink and scroll and wrote down notes and created 3 scrolls of fire according to the red book I found last season. And thank goodness I made 3 because I needed them all for Heroes Hollow. You can never have enough weird water. And crow's coal is almost like gold. Skeleton dust is sometimes easy to get, but sometimes you have to fight an actual skeleton. And the weird water lake was easy to find again, but I ended up snapping my foot on the bone. And 2 skeletons who were asleep popped up and darted at me. I casted the fireball scrolls on both, and used up 2 of them. Then, while I was collecting the dust, after searching for a few hours, I found a pile of crow's coal, but there was a huge crow guarding it. Luckily, the fireball I casted didn't miss, and he ran towards some dark water to douse himself out. My broom might be basic, but it was fast enough for me to zip past the crow, grab the coal, and zip right back out. I know it's not standard alchemy to heal more than the necessary tags, but since weird water can heal multiple tags, the medicine worked. First, I took the coal and the skeleton dust together and grinded them in the mortar and pestle. The dust was dark but glittery. Then I boiled the weird water and added the sparkly black dust. The water became a dark purple. Luckily, I had some rock candy left and added it to the mixture. The potion became thicker as it cooled down. Since I was healed, I changed the settings of my healing router to move, and everyone calmed down, including myself. I have to make more of these, I thought. Mommy, why is it thick and purple? The little girl said. I told her it was candy, and she took the purple liquid and gulped it down. Thank you, mister. Here is the monies. I thanked her. The other 2 tinkerers gulped it down and said they felt better than ever, which has me thinking I should put healing routers in my shop one day. I received letters early in the morning the following week, and this week it was about the McLean. Oh, and the Museum of Magic. The Museum of Magic letter went like this. Dear Ouroboros, we here at the Museum of Magic have heard of your many feats and would like to congratulate you on your promotion to advanced level alchemist. But that, being that you are only one of 3 advanced alchemists in the world, we would like to issue a challenge. If you can collect all reagents, we will award reputation points, 1 point for each type of animal, plant, magic, mineral, water, and man-made reagent. Bonus points will also be awarded for completing each region, 1 point for Tinker's Island, 1 for Shimmer Snow Valley, 1 for Hearthhome's Wildlands, and the other point for Central High Rannoch itself. Enclosed inside this letter is a badge that holds your license and stature. As you complete the collection, pins will be sent via Harpy Mill to decorate your badge. A certificate of completion will also be mailed when all reagents are collected. P.S. These reputation points cannot be revoked. Cordially yours, the Museum of Magic. Now that was nice of them. Let's see what this other letter is like. The letter from Lord McLean went like this. Dear Vincent, hello there, Devil. The McLeans would like to invite you to a tea party this afternoon. One of our brothers has come back from the future with some news that you need to hear. Please do make haste, as he is unable to stay in one timeline for an extended period of time. We will dish more tea while sipping tea when you get here. P.S. Our tea and snacks are incorporeal and are more for ambience. Sorry, but you will have to bring your own. Your friends from the other side, the McLean. And attached to it was quite a fancy invitation, as you can see. It had a clock with the date and the time. You are cordially invited to the McLean's tea party, Meltwater Lock, Middos at 1500 hours. I think that's 3 p.m. Since I knew that there would be no tea and snacks that I could eat and drink myself, I decided to scavenge for a few reagents before the tea party. So I got some songberries to make songberry muffins, glide around Moonbreaker Mountains and the Cloud Isles to get the milkstone, candy rocks, and moon lotus flowers. And I also got some fairy dust, the red kind, which may be glittery, but if you get the red fairy dust, it can add a spicy kick to your tea. Plus it helps with the curse tag, just in case the 13 McLean's curse might be contagious. I made the songberry bread ahead of time and brought some water and my alchemist kit so I could boil and distill ingredients. When I arrived, the McLeans thanked me for coming and asked if I was followed. I did not understand their trepidation then, but I am glad that this tea party was not my last, and that is because their youngest brother, Matthew, had a message for me from the future. According to Lord McLean, none of the McLeans actually died. Their bodies became spirits after being poisoned and cursed at the same time. However, not all of the McLeans were affected the same way, even though it was the same curse and poison. While the water for the tea was boiling, I took out my gear and adjusted my healing router to the cure curse frequency, and then the McLeans stopped being spirits. But they were technically still ghosts. No one was floating, and each brother had a shadow, but their forms were still transparent. I finished making tea, and then Theodore popped out of nowhere. He unfortunately was a static ghost. I quickly switched my router to spirit and magic to get rid of any adverse effects. Theodore started to look more human, but he still had electricity flowing throughout his body. Give everyone that tea, he quickly shouted. Now I only have a little time left, so I need you to cure my electric tag within a few hours. It's the only thing connecting me in between the planes and dimensions, and I need it cured so I can tell you about the future. Write down this list, he says. You will need some jelly, some oil and grease. Jelly, oil, and grease? Yes, capacitor jelly, diamond oil, okay. Elbow grease, okay. After getting the ingredients listed, I rushed as hard as I could through the air to the workshop. Luckily, the weather was clear. The front desk staff stated that I had to pay for the ingredients because I was not making a potion in-house. I told them it was an emergency, that I would pay them back, but something told me to double check the level of ingredients, and I'm glad that I did, because some of them were only 2-star levels instead of 3-star levels. The capacitor jelly was okay, but the diamond oil and elbow grease were not. So I took the Mecanterel and the capacitor jelly, then researched for infection level 3 reagent in my tomb. I have been secretly practicing the message bell, and I was able to contact Theodore successfully. Are you sure these are what I need? Actually, no. I had to get you away from the shop because one of the McLeans is not a McLean. A golem, who is a servant of the Lich King, stole his soul. How am I supposed to cure all of these things? Do not fret. We have time. We just have to plan it carefully. First, prepare a spiritual bath for his body. Get a tub of weird water and place your signal salves in it with the spirit and curse settings. After he is fixed, he can help us with the new afflictions. I will explain more later. For now, you will need to get the capacitor jelly, Mecantera, Nimbus fish scales, and meet me in the dungeon. Gathering reagents from the dungeons seemed like an obstacle course at the Hero Academy. Luckily, Theodore is a wizard himself. I gave him some boiled capacitor jelly juice, and he stopped popping in and out of the dimensional planes. After blasting spell after spell, and making potion after potions, and throwing lightning, all of the spiders and skeletons were gone. I think we fought like 50 of them. Then when we got to the weird water lake, there was 10 ghosts. 10. Thank Gaia, I had enough ink and scroll paper to create 10 spirit seals. Unfortunately, I didn't have any more afterwards. I will have to buy some later. Step away from the water, foolish mortals, the creepy voice cried out. To this day, I don't know what possessed Tom McLean's body, and I don't want to know. Then a golem appeared, but unlike the usual brown and copper golems, this one was gray and black with iron armor. The very next thing I did was completely a stroke of luck, because I did not think it would work. I told the brothers to distract him while I make some bath bombs. What? The brother said with a puzzled look. I crushed the scales and the fairy dust into powder, distilled the spider venom, then gradually added the venom into powder until it was clumpy like dough. Then added the ghost goo, formed it into a ball. The ball formed, but it couldn't stay solid. It's a good thing potion jars can hold liquid fire. So I placed the gooey slime into the bottle and kept dipping it in and out of the liquid fire to do a rapid boil. When I took it out, the glass shattered and a sticky onyx ball came out. I rolled it around in fairy dust and it became solid gold, but was flaky like the bath beauty potions I made last season. Throw him into the weird water. The golem filled with Tom's soul grappled Tom, who had the golem soul. It's all very confusing. And they managed to dunk each other under the lake. I threw the magical bath bomb inside the weird water, and for a second the water bubbled and fizzed and then turned gold, then black, and then back to clear. Then it was silent for a few minutes. Tom came up gasping for air, covered in clay. The golem is gone, he said. I looked at Theodore. The immediate threat is over now, he said. Let's go save the rest of my brother. Now that all the curses was gone, I started to set the signals. But before arriving back onto the ship at the lake, the whole surrounding area looked gray. I looked at Tom. He shrugged. Then I glared at Theodore. Oh shit. I forgot about the canvas curse. Tom, do you still have some of the cryo crystals in your satchel? Surprisingly, yes. And now I know what to do. The twins then told me about their ridiculous plan. How we pulled it off, I have no idea. But somehow it worked. Basically recreated an ice sphere around the ship. And since I sprinkled in fairy dust into the lake, it was an anti-curse zone of some kind. And with my signal salve set to anti-curse, it was even more powerful than before, reverberating off of the ice that was in the lake. Tyler, who had the canvas curse, bathed in some of the weird water that I boiled with moon lotus petals, and his curse was gone. The other brothers, we did the same, but let's just say magical prosthetic rejection is no joke. I set one of the signal salves to objects so no magical objects could operate, and the other I set to nerves. In case you didn't know, when a prosthetic that is magical rejects the body, it causes a lot of pain, and it also damages the nerves. Hopefully, this will work. Tyler, Tom, and Theodore served the rest of the brothers songberry bread to help keep their mood up, and some moon lotus tea with the milk stone and fairy dust to help with the bone and pain. While they did that, I took some distilled spider venom and added it to some crushed nimbus scales and macantrail. Then added some weird water, just until it had kind of like a pancake batter consistency. Luckily for me, the McLeans used moss to brush their teeth. Since they had both moon moss and glacier moss, I swirled the two together around until they made a thick paste. Then I folded the batter of ingredients into the paste to make it like a cream. This cream I was able to rub on the steampunk cursed appendages. After rubbing the cream onto everyone's artificial limbs, the immediate threat was gone. But the big threat was just around the corner. Tiago, all the brothers exclaimed. Uh, That's not the right soul. What did he say? I said, Tiago's not here anymore. Fucking Gollum. It's another one I shouted. You stopped taking a little bath was gonna stop me. I was born from the dark water, you druidic heathen. Stand back, boys. Olga, they gasped, was a burly female dwarf. And she had what she called a spirit vacuum. Think kind of like a spirit portal seal with a nose attached to it. After Olga vacuumed away the dark soul, Lord Tiago McLean dropped in, and a little bug-like machine scribbled and popped out of his chest, carrying Lord Tiago's heart with him. Olga shot the bug with her shotgun, and then she shot the heart. Fucking heart seekers. Hate those little fuckers. By the way, Vincent, my name is Olga, and I am the Grand Artificer of the Tinkerer's Shop, and this lovely automaton is my assistant caretaker. She literally takes care of everything. Elphaba is waiting for you at the shop with grave news, I'm afraid, said caretaker. The last 3 weeks seem to never end, and here I am, halfway through the summer, faced with the pandemic versus reputation dilemma. I'm sorry I couldn't stop the black golem, dear. This is too much. I have to finish collecting ingredients. You must finish collecting the ingredients. Well, you're not gonna have time for that, I'm afraid. But how am I supposed to fix the panacea potion? Unfortunately, you have to let those victims die. But the aftermath will not be pretty. Best to make a speech. But wait, wouldn't the panacea poison get rid of the Heartseeker bug too? The Heartseeker bug can only be destroyed by physical damage. Unless you know how to perform surgery, it's not possible to cure both. And even then, the Heartseeker causes wounds at the advanced stage. And they are at the advanced stage. The town's doctor has afflicted in hazmat suits already. But don't some foreign reagents stop foreign objects inside the body? Yes, they do. However, according to the doctor, the bug is using the panacea poison as a shield. Elphaba, and no, I haven't done alchemy for very long, but that doesn't sound right. We need to go talk to the doctor now. And I'm glad I did, because no one saw what was about to happen next. What the fuck are you doing, Doctor? The doctor started tossing people into a furnace of liquid fire while they were still alive. You could at least put them to sleep first. How is this a mercy kill? Oh, you didn't know? Shut up, boy. None of this would have happened if you were properly trained in medicine and didn't dilly-dally with all those other people's problems. Even if you use your 2 signal salves, you can't save them. Hold up. How do you know the shop talked about them? What do you mean the shop talked about them? I didn't even tell the people of the shop what these were. Eyes of the Druid. Detect life. Detect good and evil. Damn it. Elphaba. It's not the doctor. It's another golem. Vincent, watch out! self-destruction. And after that, it was all a blur. I still don't remember what happened to Elphaba, what happened to the doctor, what happened to anyone else. When I came to, it was already fall. And for some reason, I was back inside my dorm room. And that, my dear friends, is all of season 2. Bum, 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 bum. Hooray! It's going on with my camera roll. I have to do this again. All right, there I am. Here I am. Here I am. Ooh, excuse me. Focus camera. Stop being blurry and stuff. I don't know what's happening with the camera. But I apologize for the blurry camera. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know I didn't have hotkeys for my I get when it's in this mode, I have to turn it. I didn't have hotkeys for the music, so I know it was a little bit off with the transitions. But you know, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So if you want, you can have a good night. Sorry if I left you with a cliffhanger, but that's how it does. I have to do stuff to let you want more. So before I end this stream, I am going to give you a sneak peek stuff I have been working on. See there? Yeah. Ooh. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do because I don't want to take up too much of your time. But I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are being safe and doing good things for the world. And